Welcome. I am Connor Dawson, professor from the Historical Society at Yale University. Today we will be discussing the sequence of events that led up to the U.S. involvement in World War I. It all began in 1914 with the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand. This caused an immediate uprising between Serbia and Austria that eventually engulfed all the major powers of Europe. To discuss the first opinion of American neutrality, I invited my good friend and colleague Erkan Yilmaz from Princeton University.
Hello. Neutrality was a policy heavily supported by Wilson during World War I. Wilson believed joining the war would cause many economical problems, like war debts or even straining international trade. Wilson believed in open seas and traded internationally with everyone. However, countries like Great Britain disagreed and set up blockades between the United States and Germany. This caused Germany to be very angered and caused them to react in ways that hurt United States trade. This gave Americans a sense of frustration and anxiety over the events occurring overseas in Europe.
Now we will discuss the events that caused the U.S. to abandon its policy of neutrality and join the Allied powers in World War I. This includes the German submarine warfare, the Zimmermann telegram, and the Russian revolutions.
The first major crisis challenging the United States' neutrality and peace was the sinking of the Lusitania on May 7, 1915. Wilson grew frustrated and sent Germany a warning, letting them know they would be held responsible if this action had continued. Even with the warning given to Germany, they continued attacking American merchant ships, which injured many American passengers. Wilson grew tired and threatened to cut off diplomatic relations with Germany. This meant they would get involved into the war. So Germany quickly responded with the Sussex Pledge, which promised to not sink another unarmed ship without notice. However, in 1917, Germany resumed their unrestricted submarine warfare. They realized the risk of America joining, but they thought they would be able to end the war before they joined if Great Britain didn't get supplies from them. This finally led to Wilson's decision of cutting off diplomatic relations with Germany.
Now we will discuss the Zimmermann telegram. On March 15th, U.S. newspapers reported shocking news that British intelligence intercepted a telegram from the German Foreign Minister Arthur Zimmermann to the Mexican government. In the telegram, Zimmermann proposed that if Mexico became allies with Germany, Germany in return would pledge to return control of Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. This telegram aroused nationalist anger and convinced Wilson that Germany expected a full-fledged war with the U.S.
Lastly, the United States strained from joining the war on the Allied side due to Russia being a part of it. Wilson was bothered by the fact that Russia was a nation ruled by a Tsar. However, Russian revolutionists overthrew the Tsar government. This weakened Russia and forced them to back out of the war and fight their own revolutionary war. This opened up a chance for the United States to join the Allied powers since Russia has just left.
After these three key events, Wilson met with his senators and representatives in a special meeting on April 2, 1917. He asked everyone to recognize the state of war between Germany and the U.S. And on April 6th, a majority of Congress voted for a declaration of war, and the U.S. joined the Allied powers. Immediately after the declaration of war, the Secretary of War, Newton D. Baker, established the Selective Service Act of 1917. Under this act, 2.8 million men were eventually called by the lottery. These draftees provided over half the total of 4.7 million Americans that were issued uniforms to fight in World War I. And 2 million of these men were transported to join the British and French forces in the trenches on the Western Front.
Once the United States was in the war, many men were registered to fight for their country. This opened up many jobs in the United States, which affected many lives. Women found more job opportunities, and by showing their help towards the United States, it eventually led to the 19th Amendment. Not only women were affected by the war. Many Africans and Mexicans migrated to different parts of the United States. Mexicans crossed the border and usually found jobs in the Southwest involving agriculture and mining. Africans, on the other hand, migrated from the south to the north, finding plenty of job opportunities up there.
In conclusion, the Allied powers pulled through and won the First World War. This victory put a burden on Germany's shoulders with massive war debts and loss of territory. Throughout World War I, Wilson kept a peaceful eye on the world and only joined the First World War to keep it a safer place. Thanks for watching tonight's episode, and be sure to tune in next week when we discuss U.S. involvement in World War II with special guest tennis star Nick Wiles. And remember,
good night and good luck.